All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm hyped because, well, first off, I woke up about 5 minutes ago. And second off, it's Friday. It's literally Friday, so that's cool. Now, there was a report last night that, or it might have been today, I'm not really sure. There was a report that came out that said the Rockets' second pick is drawing interest from multiple teams. And I wanted to make this video because I've actually been getting some comments about people asking my opinion on if the Rockets should trade the second pick. And to be 100% honest, I don't think it's that crazy of an idea. I made a video yesterday while I was leaning a little bit more towards Evan Mobley. Nobody was a fan of that comment. Evan Mobley, man, you can use like the center argument both ways. People will try to throw like you should never draft a center in the first 4 picks, and it's like, dude, like my favorite is Rocket fans telling me not to draft a center in the top 4 pick as if the Rockets don't have extreme success with drafting big men right out of the gate. Right? I mean, I can literally, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I've got all these damn Rocket fans telling me you should never draft a center top 4. And it's like some of the Rockets' most historic elite players were centers drafted at like number 1, like Hakeem, Yao Ming. It's crazy. But Evan Mobley, man, you can use that argument both ways, right? Because the MVP and the backup MVP this year were both centers. And Giannis Antetokounmpo just won the finals. And I know he's not a center, but he is 6'11", plays like a center. What made Giannis so successful in the playoffs in the NBA Finals in comparison to the Phoenix Suns and DeAndre Ayton is not really capable of guarding 1 through 5, and that's pretty evident. Giannis Antetokounmpo, on the other hand, is, and that's something I see in Evan Mobley is, yeah, he's a 7-foot-tall grown man, but he is so versatile. He is so quick. It's insane. Like, it really is. He's a very interesting just body type. Like, it's just so interesting. So that's why if they were to draft Evan Mobley, I wouldn't be complaining at all. Because, yeah, his project might take a little bit longer just because he's not a profile scorer like Jalen Green. And when you're a scorer, you can just kind of come into the NBA and start shooting. Whereas Evan Mobley, he's going to make more of a difference. Not on the box score, in my opinion, more like on the defensive end and that type of thing. He's got to get his offensive game to that, not even to the next level. He's got to keep it going. He's got to keep getting better offensively. I know he averaged 16 in college, but it's going to be much different. He is a twig at the current moment, and he's going to have to improve on the offensive end like Christian Wood did for so many years. So I do see the concern with Evan Mobley, but I mean, you got to see the concern with every single prospect because there is concern with every single prospect. That's just how this goes. Now, that second pick is going to be up, and I'm not talking about trading out of the top 4. What I am saying is I wouldn't be surprised if the Rockets were to do a trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers. The thing about that is I would imagine the Cavs would want Evan Mobley and not Jalen Green. So a trade with the Cavs actually makes sense because if they were to actually want Mobley, then they could trade up to 2, get their guy. The Rockets get a little extra package, and then they can pick their guy Jalen Green at 3. So that's something as well, but there's been reports coming from The Athletic that the Rockets don't expect most of the aggressive offers to come until draft night. And I got to say, to just be honest, I don't think they'll trade the second pick. Now, we all know that the Rockets have expressed interest in moving up to number 1, probably select Cade Cunningham, but I mean, are we 1 week away? We're less than a week away, guys. I don't see Detroit shying away from, I don't see Detroit accepting any type of trade like that. So obviously That leaves you with Jalen Green, Jalen Suggs, and Evan Mobley, as most are saying it's a 4-player draft. So all these guys have future all-star potential, which is the good news. So with that being said, I think it should be a safe bet that the Rockets don't want to move down past number 4. However, I think if they were really given a truly spectacular trade offer where they receive a superstar player, I wouldn't be surprised if something was worked out. However, I don't think it's likely. I do not think it's likely. So that narrows it down to the Cleveland Cavaliers, who will probably select the leftover of Jalen Green or Evan Mobley. But apparently they do have some possible interest in moving up if they decide they have a preference of the two. Now, I think Colin Sexton is most likely gone. If Colin Sexton's most likely gone, that leaves Darius Garland at the point guard position, and that could put Jalen Green perfectly at number 2. I think from the Cavs' perspective, they would like to ideally get rid of Kevin Love's contract and move up in the draft at the same time if possible. So, looking at some of their pieces, nothing interesting to us. I mean, Jarrett Allen's restricted free agent. Colin Sexton, possible trade piece this offseason. Like I said, I still think it's going to happen because he doesn't really help them win basketball games. It's kind of like the Colin Sexton show. And to me, Darius Garland is an absolute stud, and I think he should be the point guard of the future. So, looking at Toronto, they're kind of a wild card because no one has any idea of which way their offseason is going to be going. Not a single idea. I mean, Kyle Lowry's decision should kind of give you a good understanding. However, that isn't until August 1st. So, in the meantime, they'll have a draft in 6 days, and that'll tell us a little bit more, maybe. But at the same time, the Raptors are probably just going to be taking whoever's available still at number 4. So, on the other hand, maybe they want to, since Kyle Lowry's gone, maybe they want to kind of get a mini rebuild going. So maybe that could be a reason for them moving up. However, I just don't see them having an issue with picking Jalen Suggs at number 4. So maybe there's an outside chance the Rockets like a player who isn't supposed to be in the top 5. So they might trade down a guy like Davion Mitchell, like Moses Moody. But I mean, that would be a complete shock, because I don't think that there's any players outside of number 5 that the Rockets would be like, yeah, Mobley or Green's not worth it. Let's go for Moses Moody. I just don't see that happening ever. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Lottery odds are insane, and just historically the results are better for the higher you select. So it's going to be an overwhelming next couple of days. But with that being said, there's been trades in the top 5 of the NBA draft in 3 of the last 4 drafts. So I got to say, if a trade happens in the top 4, I think it's definitely going to be the Houston Rockets. So it's something to just be possibly prepared for.